ਵਿਕਟੋਰੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਘੜਨੀ ਸਭਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਈ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਚੱਲਦੀਆਂ ਰਹਿੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਕਿ ਅਕਸਰ ਸੁਰਖੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। BC ਦੀ ਕੰਜ਼ਰਵੇਟਿਵ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਚੁਟਕਲੇ ਸੁਣਾਏ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਜੌਨ ਰਸਟਡ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਿ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਹੋ ਕੀ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਆਏ ਦਿਨ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਵੱਖੋ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੌਕਸ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਮਨਮਟਾਓ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਗੁੱਸਾ ਗਿਲਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ। Some of the people, they used to be MLAs for BC Conservative Party, but not anymore. But there's so many other things are happening. People are cracking jokes on the inside working conditions of the party. What's the reason? I have to go. I don't know. I have to go and find out from Mr. Bill Tileman, who is a political analyst, and he knows basically each and everything that happens in Victoria. Mr. Tileman, Sat Sri Akal ji, welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Romana.
Sir, what's happening in BC Conservative Party? Have you ever heard this kind of phenomena ever before?
No, it's crazy. There's no way around that. And, you know, the last thing that we heard happened, and we're waiting to hear more, I'm sure, is that John Rastad, the leader of the BC Conservatives, demanded that there be searches of every BC Conservative MLA's cell phone to see if they were leaking information to the media, in particular to Jazz Johal of CKNW, who's had a lot of leaks. But so the idea of every MLA who is elected by the people to represent their riding, turning over their cell phone to somebody from the party to have them go through it and see, oh, you know, did you call Dr. Romana? Did you call Jazz Johal? Did you call Bill Tileman? Is crazy. I mean, if you can't trust your MLAs that much, and you think you can find that kind of information on their cell phone, it really is begs the question of what you're doing there. But, you know, this isn't helping the opposition. They're supposed to be an alternative government. They're supposed to be holding the NDP government in BC accountable and responsible for its actions and the situation of the economy and jobs and everything else. And meanwhile, they're looking at each other's cell phones.
And I guess the funniest thing is that if somebody's offering that, okay, go check my phone, that's fine. And if somebody's refusing for whatever reason, there's so many things in the phone nowadays, then he's supposed to be a culprit.
Yeah. So apparently everyone gave their cell phone over, but, you know, if they were already worried about getting caught, maybe they have a second cell phone or a third cell phone. Who knows what's going on? But the problem is that there's a number of MLAs in the Conservative Party who don't think John Rastad should continue to be the leader, and he's going to have more trouble still. This doesn't go away with this. And so, you know, every day they spend fighting themselves, they're not fighting the NDP. And I think from a political perspective, that's not what the opposition should do.
And I guess that's what you call muzzling and suppressing the speech, because this is not the first time that some MLA this way or that way has leaked or, and the journalists, they always quote, my source tells me, and, you are a journalist yourself. Yeah. Our sources are also sitting in Victoria.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, there's always going to be leaks. And, of course, the fact that they searched the cell phones was leaked to the media. So, you know, and our colleague Vaughn Palmer in the Vancouver Sun wrote a whole column about it on the weekend and just saying, you know, it's completely embarrassing. And Rustad was asked by a reporter if he was paranoid, and his chief of staff said, "You're cut off. No more questions ever from you." So they're very tense. They're very anxious about this. And, you know, it's not going to end well for John Rustad is my prediction.
So what does that tell you about Mr. Rustad and his leadership style? Is he too innocent, naive? First time ever he became the, leader of a party, or he wants to do politics this way?
Yeah, he deserves credit for creating the BC Conservative Party and bringing it from nothing to 1 or 2 seats to almost winning government. But can you imagine if they were the government right now and this was happening? It would be much worse, for sure. But, you know, you cannot have, basically there's an internal tension between fiscal conservatives like the old BC Liberals, BC United Party, and social conservatives, some of whom are elected in the BC Conservative Caucus and who hold views that are, you know, not mainstream, I'll put it that way. And so that tension is there. And we've already seen 3 MLAs quit and 1 thrown out of the caucus, Eleanor Sturko most recently, the Surrey MLA, who's a very effective critic. was thrown out by John Ressa because he thought she was against him and was leaking information. But the leaks continued after she left. So it's not one person that's the problem. It's many.
And thank God he's not a premier and he's not a chief minister of Punjab or prime minister of India or some other country. Otherwise, Vaughn Palmer and Bill Tilman and Jas Jahal and Jasbir Romana, they'll be all in jails.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We definitely, I mean, I would be very nervous about someone who doesn't have the respect of his caucus, of his MLAs. Were to be the premier, we would have a crisis of much bigger magnitude. And, you know, we'll see what happens. But I predict, Jasbir, that John Rustad will not be continue to be the BC Conservative leader next year. I don't know how long he's got, but I don't think it's a long time.
And why would you say that? Looking at the voices of discord, or this is it? He already achieved his peak.
Well, there's too much turmoil in the Conservative Party. I think the people who back the Conservatives in business and small business and individuals are just saying enough is enough. I think there's going to be a move to replace him with somebody else. Who it'll be, we don't know yet, but it could be someone inside the caucus or out, I think. But I don't think BC Conservative supporters can take too much more of this. And, you know, he had a review. He only got 70% support, and that was only with just over 1,200 people voting after months of having a review. So, you know, it's pretty bad. And even the Green Party, with only 2 seats, had a leadership contest, and they had 8,000 people vote. So I think there's just a really big problem there. And I don't think John Rustad has the abilities to survive this leadership challenge that's going on.
Bill, thank you very much for your time on a very short notice. Thank you.
No problem. And I've made my prediction, so you can play it back if I'm wrong.
Sure.
Okay.